Thanks everyone for being here. My name is Austin Talbot.
I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Brittany Bell.
Together we present to you the WWU Biogas Alternative. Let's get started. So imagine that you're a student and you're walking through campus and you see a kiosk, a lot of tables and chairs, people charging their cell phones, people charging their laptop, maybe an electric bicycle. There's signs all around you that say this station is powered by food, this station is powered by renewable energy. Western is a university that prides itself on sustainability. We think that implementing a biogas technology such as this would be a centerpiece, a hands-on learning environment for students, for faculty, and for the university in general, just to get a better understanding of what this technology holds for us. Now, this obviously would not be the digester, but this would be a nice little unit to put on the outside of it so that it would fit with the aesthetics of Western. It could look like this, it could look like something else. And it doesn't exactly have to be in Red Square either. There's a number of different places that we can put it here on campus. Today, we want to introduce you to biogas and what exactly this technology holds for us. Currently, our university is powered by the steam plant. It heats all of the facilities here using natural gas, and it makes up about 1/3 of our carbon emissions. This is something that we aim to reduce, and hopefully down the line in the future, completely offset by using biogas. Now today, we aim to reduce our carbon footprint, expand a renewable energy portfolio, cut down on landfill waste, produce nutrient-rich fertilizer for our university, create a flourishing educational environment, all while replacing natural gas with biogas. And to do that, we're going to discuss a couple of different topics. We're going to talk about what biogas is, why we have a need for biogas here at our university, some case studies and viable options for our university, as well as some educational opportunities and some possible directions on how we can proceed down the line in the future. So what is biogas? Biogas is actually very simple. Taking a look at this diagram here, you have your first exhibit, one, and that's our organic material. This can be anything from food waste to compost, from yard waste, anything organic really. And you put that into a digestion tank, you mix it around, and it produces methane, essentially. This is basically just like natural gas, minus a little bit of impurities here and there. What we're really looking at is two different outputs here. We can see the biogas, our number one priority here, which can potentially offset our natural gas energy usage here. And we're also looking at some other co-products, mainly fertilizer. This can be anything from animal bedding or nutrient-rich fertilizer, which comes in the form of liquid effluent. You can eventually use that to water plants. There's a number of different applications we want to explore with this. The question comes up often, how is this sustainable if you're just using another form of natural gas? And the answer is very simple. When organic material breaks down, it naturally releases methane into the atmosphere. And by capturing this and burning it, this produces CO2. Methane's roughly 27 times more potent as a greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide. And in this way, we would be reducing our carbon footprint.
So as Austin mentioned, Western is a university that cares about sustainability, and it's shown through words and actions that it's committed to sustainability and environmental progress moving forward. So in 2010, Western signed the Climate Action Plan into existence. And this plan calls for a reduction in the coming decades of our carbon emissions. So in 2020, we would need to reduce our 2005 emissions levels by 15%. That number jumps to 36% in 2035, and finally to 57.5% by 2050. And in addition to the Climate Action Plan, Western has also signed on to the American College and University President's Climate Commitment. And this is a high visibility effort to reduce global warming, promote sustainability on campus and in local communities, and reduce carbon emissions, and hopefully get off of fossil fuels and their use. To remain on the trajectory of the Climate Action Plan and meet a carbon neutral goal in 2050, Western would need to reduce 36% of their emissions by 2020. That number would then jump to 58 in 2035, and then hopefully 100% more carbon neutral by 2050. Western's already taken a number of strides to commit to sustainability in the future through the purchase of a wind farm, but we believe that biogas offers multiple opportunities to expand our renewable energy portfolio and hopefully generate energy in the process. So we chose to look at a few different size projects. Thankfully, biogas is an old technology, and there's numerous examples of it being implemented successfully. We chose 3 different projects, one from the University of California, Davis, another from a Wisconsin-based company called Biofirm Technologies, and finally a system out of Seattle called the Horse 8025 from Impact Bioenergy. So the first and largest unit that we chose to look at was the UC Davis Reed Digester, which stands for Renewable Energy Anaerobic Digester. And like I said, this was the largest of the 3 that we looked at. It is an industrial-sized energy generation plant, which processes about 20,000 tons of organic waste every year, which generates about 5.6 million kilowatt hours. And that's enough to roughly power a neighborhood of about 500 homes for an entire year. The project was a collaborative effort with the University of California, Davis, the U.S. Energy Commission, and the California Energy Commission as well, and cost $8.5 million to produce the entire project. The next unit we chose to look at was the Biofirm Eucolino. Biofirm, like I said, is a Wisconsin-based company that has installed 3 different digesters for the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, and this is the middle unit out of their range that they installed on that campus. It's much smaller than the UC Davis digester, and one of the strengths of this is that it is a prefabricated unit. It's ready to operate as soon as it's dropped off. They check it for safety, maintenance, all of that beforehand. And that is a really great asset for a university like ours where we might not have the resources or the space to operate an industrial-sized facility. This unit processes 6,000 tons of organic waste every year, generates about 500,000 kilowatt hours, or enough to power about 50 homes, and has a capital investment of around $1 million up front. And finally, the last and smallest unit that we chose to look at was the Horse 8025. This is a Seattle-based company, Impact Bioenergy, that has developed this unit. It's similar to the Eucolino in that it is a prefabricated, self-contained system, ready to use once it's installed on campus, potentially. This unit processes about 25 tons of organic waste, so much smaller than the other 2, and generates about 35,000 kilowatt hours per year, so about 3 homes worth of energy. It has an upfront cost of about $80,000.
After looking at several different models and companies, we have identified the Horse 8025 from Impact Bioenergy as a great model for Western. Given its small size, it would be great for a pilot program, and the goal would be to test it on a smaller scale and potentially expand it later on. The Horse 8025 is built out of a shipping container, so it's 160 square feet in size. Its modular design makes it easy to scale up in the future by simply adding on different units. It's self-contained, which means that it's relatively simple to install as well as maintain and operate. The enclosed design ensures that no bad odors are released from the unit, which is one of the main concerns of stakeholders. Impact Bioenergy is also a local company, so the shipping costs to get the unit installed would be relatively low. In addition to the Fremont unit, there's also a unit at a restaurant on Newbridge Island, and Microsoft recently purchased a unit that will be built this summer. Currently, the electricity being created at the Fremont location is being used to charge electric bicycles, and the fertilizer is being used to help grow plants and improve soil quality.
Now we're going to jump into some more budget information and get down to the nitty-gritty. So I think it's worth mentioning that this technology from Impact is actually so simple that it would be able to be student-run. Upon purchasing this, Impact provides training to a faculty member who will be the primary overseer, who will then train students who can operate this fully. It only takes about 2 to 5 hours a week maximum to actually run this, so it's very little cost. At a student wage of about $11 an hour, 5 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, you're looking at a very small operating cost of about $2,860 annually just to run this. Now, we'll take a look at the food waste input. As Brittany said before, it only takes about 25 tons at the lowest input to run this. It's capable of harnessing a lot more and creating a lot more resources, a lot more biogas, and a lot more liquid food. As you can see, the plant food output, you're getting about 5,700 gallons of this liquid effluent a year. And you're getting about 131 million BTUs worth of energy just at the lowest output as well, all at a very small upfront cost of about $80,000, easily achievable if they're going through a grant. Now, when taking a look at this, we're just focusing here on the liquid effluent completely disregarding the benefits that we get from the biogas. Now, we estimate that you can sell this liquid effluent at about $10 a gallon for fertilizer, just taking into account basic costs of fertilizers on the market. And by selling this $10 a gallon for 5,700 gallons, that's about $57,000 in revenue annually just from selling liquid effluent. That's only one output that this produces. Now, I know what you're thinking. Would we really be able to sell this much liquid effluent? And that's a great question. But we can also use it to completely offset the fertilizer that we use here on campus. Rather than purchasing fertilizer on campus, we can just use our own that we're creating out of our food waste, thus creating more of a circular economy.
Since Western is an educational institution, it's also very important that there's an educational component to this project. Having a digester on campus would be a great way for students to take a tour and get a first-hand look at an actual operating anaerobic digester. It may attract students that have not initially had an interest in this and inspire conversations about innovation and renewable energy. There's also a great opportunity for students to actually get involved in the project through research. The project could potentially utilize students from the biology department to test the fertilizers on different soil, students from the Vehicle Research Institute to test the biogases as fuel, students from the Energy Institute could collect data on electricity outputs, and students from the Business and Sustainability program could look at how the revenue generated from renewable technologies works. This could also be incorporated into classes, clubs, and even run by students. It's very important that students are given a hands-on education and are actually able to interact with the technology that they're learning about. In addition, this could also be a real feature at Western. It would be a visual representation to show that Western is committed to sustainability and that we're really promoting sustainable technology. Thinking on a slightly larger scale in terms of the greater community, Bellingham is full of different restaurants and breweries, and having this sort of technology open to the public to view would be a great way for other businesses to come and take a look and possibly invest in their own businesses.
So today we've talked to you about biogas. We told you what it is. We gave you some applications for our university. We even showed you some case studies, explained some educational opportunities that arise out of this, and we've even given you a direction on how to proceed. Now, Western being the university that it is, that prides itself on sustainability, this provides our university with a pedestal to put this renewable technology on. It's important to not just think of this as a digester, but to think of it as a tool that can create a flourishing educational environment, and a tool that can provide an understanding of this technology, whether we decide to pursue this in the future on campus or maybe even off campus.